And hello fellow Tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we are in Tier 10 Mercenary Medium Tank, the Chisel. We are on map Westfield and we are in a platoon with FreddyFMB. Now today we're gonna cover map Westfield and how to win from this spawn or west spawn on this map. It's not very easy, to be honest, because if the opposition spawns on the east side, they pretty much control the entire map, or big portion of the map anyway. So we'll focus on how this map is being played out. So what you see here, I've drawn up some zones for you guys. The red zone shows the control of the map that usually the opposition team will get if they spawn on the east side, and in green you'll see the control of the map that usually the green team is gonna get if you spawn on the west side of the map. And it's quite critical to win the northwest quadrant if you spawn on the west side, because trying to go up the K line and go over to K0, I wouldn't recommend to anyone spawning on this side of the map, simply because the map is so open that if there is a spotter in location F6 like this light tank is there right now, all of these guys going up the K line will pretty much get demolished or annihilated, and that's a usual play by the opposition. So the best thing to do on this map is to win the northwest quadrant like I'm doing right here, and once you win the northwest quadrant, then you can make your decision. Do you want to push in between the buildings into E5 or F6 area so you can have shots from there across the map, or do you want to go back and defend the base? These are the two really viable options, because if you keep pushing towards the opposition's base, you're going into the open area where you're just going to get slaughtered from the snipers that are sitting at E0 or F0, somewhere around there. So definitely you have your work cut out for yourself if you spawn on the other side, because it's obviously an easier play and easier to win a match. On this side you have to be a little bit more creative in order to win the match. But I'll explain to you how both me and Freddy played here in this situation and how we were able to pull this off. So as you notice here, I'm working the area C3, and this area is vital because I can use my gun depression over here and poke and just hit whoever is defending B6 and punish all of the reds that are heading up the A line. So that's the idea here, and usually there is a little bit more opposition here. Opposition team sends some of their units here to fight into A1 C3 quadrant, but in this situation there weren't a lot of tanks coming into this area. So early in the game what you saw me is poking, taking a shot and dropping and doing squiggles, running around in my chisel, simply to avoid the RD shells, because RD will pre-aim this position quite often and you end up losing like half your HP early in the game. Either half of HP or you're gonna be completely annihilated if you stop and stay in one position. So you have to constantly move while you're up here. So the goal here is first to spot, and second is to try to stop the opposition's push in this area. Now as you notice me there, I was really hesitating for a while, because as you notice most of my teammates are still in C3, but I decided to go back and defend the base. Now I had to think about this really hard. I didn't want to make a stupid decision here. And I told Freddy I'm going back, but I knew that I was going to be completely outnumbered, because that's what usually happens. Light tanks run over our artillery over here. As you can see, there's M60 down on the bottom. Also, there are tanks already up the J9, J0 area that could potentially have shots at me. So one thing I'm praying for over here is that artillery is not paying attention to me. And the fact that I'm here all by myself and most of my friendlies are still in the northwest quadrant of the map, I was pretty sure that RD is not gonna aim at me, but at the same time I wanted to make sure I hit my shots. Now that shot on 100 LT was critical to take this guy out of the game, because on a big map like this, light tanks are the biggest threat. So this is the position I was talking to you guys earlier about. This is a great defensive position because it does have some hills here you can hide behind, and you can poke your turret, especially if you have good gun depression. You can poke your turret from over the ridge like right here, and you are able to pretty much protect your tank pretty well. So I'm just gonna hang around this position here because that little incline or that rock on the left hand side protects me from the snipers on the K line. At the same time, I'm able to put shells into this T95 E6. So I'm gonna punish this guy as much as I can. I'm gonna try to put shells into him. And notice my micro position again. I'm just sitting right behind that rock so that no one can hit me or has difficulty hitting me from the K line. But unfortunately, someone sneaks in that shot through and hits me in the side of the turret. My turret was barely poking out there. So in current meta and the accuracy of the guns right now, yeah, that stuff still gonna happen to you. So doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna get punished every once in a while. And this is the guy that was actually hitting me. It was object 268-5, so we're gonna try to put some shells into his turret. So that's what I'm aiming at right here. Aiming at his turret. Unfortunately, those shells are not going in. They're not going in at all, but now T57 heavy gets spotted, so we should be able to put some shells into his turret. We put one over there, and hopefully we can put a second shell into him right here and take him out of the game. Can we do this? Blind shot, yes we can, and we take him out of the game. So now, it's a 5v5 situation. Who has the advantage? I would say the opposition team still has the advantage because they have two RDs in play, and on a big map like this, RDs are vital. So now the advantage that we have is the fact that we still have a light tank, and light tank is doing a fantastic job right now. He's gonna go into the field and spot this object 268 yet again, and we should be able to take him out of the game. Unfortunately, our gun is not working with us, and as you noticed, my gun is broken, but I haven't fixed it. But I do have the broken gun accuracy perk in my crew, so I thought I'm not gonna repair it. The gun is pretty accurate even with it being broken the way it is right now. But now that this guy is taken out, this should be pretty much closing time because our light tank should be able to spot pretty much anything that remains on the K line. And if you notice position of our friendlies, there are two heavy tanks sitting at F4, and they're gonna be sniping across into the K line while Freddy is supporting area C5, and he has control over 5 line, which means none of the opposition should be able to sneak through into his position. So we're pretty much covering the entire map right here. So I'm gonna wait for our light tank to spot, and he spots the E100, so we're just gonna feast on this guy. We're gonna put some shells into him right there, into his turret, and we're gonna do step and repeat. The only thing that can really hurt us right now is the artillery, but as you noticed, I'm not getting targeted, so that's why I'm just taking liberties right here. I'm gonna try to take this E100 out of the game right there. So he's gone. Oh, Artie did aim at me. I didn't think he was aiming at me, and here I'm gonna show Freddy where I thought the shell was coming from, but at the same time I get shot down by the Artie player that has his RD3 marked. What do you know? And it looks like this Artie player likes his mushrooms quite a lot. That's his gamer tag if you translate it from Polish. I like mushrooms. Anyway, Freddy avenges my death, and now it's just a matter of finding the last Artie. And as you notice, Freddy is on only 93 HP, so he's just gonna hang around in a safe position, and he's gonna relocate towards A7. Hopefully he can spot the Artie, and he's gonna be able to take him out of the game. Can he? Yes, he can, to secure the win for the team. Anyway, let's take a look at the end plates and see how we did. Obviously, it's a victory. Freddy finishes on top of the team with 6 kills, 4.2k damage. I finish in second spot with 4 kills, 5k damage. So we finish 1-2 in this game. We end up losing credits because we're spamming premium shells like a pleb, but hey, sometimes that's the way it goes. To be honest, I don't know why I used premium rounds the entire game, but hey, it's my fault for not managing my shells properly. Anyway, we finished 1-2. We had a total of 10 kills between the two of us. We had about 11k combined damage between the two of us, and above all, we managed to clutch this game at the end, even though we were losing it. Anyway guys, I hope this shows you how to play this map from this spawn, especially going back and defending the base. It's quite important because, like I mentioned to you, opposition will run into the field once they win the other side of the map, so you need to be able to defend and be able to win the game. By the way, I forgot to mention that Night Owl's clan is still recruiting, so if you guys are interested, just send in the recruiting request through the World of Tanks console website, and our recruitment officer, Yorkie, will get back to you as soon as possible. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.